Letitia James is not out of trouble. Letitia James could very well be looking at 30 years in the slammer for mortgage fraud herself, like the real kind of mortgage fraud, okay? The kind of mortgage fraud that actually puts taxpayers at risk because she's involving taxpayer funds. And she's also looking at a DOJ investigation out of New York regarding her alleged violation of Donald Trump's civil rights. Ed Martin is the guy that was appointed by Pam Bondi. Okay, so Ed Martin is doing the investigation, and he's poking around all kinds of places, including her backyard. I mean, not to be intimidated or anything, right? You know, I don't know, but when the feds are showing up at your doorstep, gosh, Letitia, wasn't that what you were trying to do at Trump Tower, you know, when you wanted to have to confiscate all of his assets? Weren't you doing that actually at his golf course too? Well, now Ed Martin's giving you a little bit of payback. This is the DOJ investigator looking into one Letitia James after Bill Pulte over at the federal housing thing said, you know what, I think that this woman, might have committed mortgage fraud, because why did she say on her documentation when she applied for a mortgage in Virginia that this was her primary residence? It's a fair question, and Ed is trying to find out. I want to show you this video that was taken by somebody on the street as he moseyed up. He's looking like Columbo there in the trench coat with a colleague to take a good hard look at the stoop and see how many floors are actually in that brownstone, because apparently she reported 4, but it's really 5, and that has something to do with the kind of rate you get on, what you know, the mortgage. Watch.
I'm just sure there's like the Pratt building. Is there
you want me to tell you how to access my...
No, I'm just asking. I'm interested, because usually houses like this.
Tell me why you're here.
We're interested in the houses.
You're not interested in the houses. We know who lives here.
Is this like Second Empire?
It's just a track house. That's what all of these things are.
I know, but when was it built, do you think?
They were built before 1899.
Oh, so, okay.
Why are you being so disingenuous about what you're here for? You're not here about the houses. You're here because of who lives here. It's my neighborhood. It's my block. I have a right to know what you guys look like your official capacity.
I'm just happy to be on a block looking at a house.
That's not true. Why won't you be honest?
No, he is happy.
Well, why won't you be honest with me about what you're doing? You are acting suspicious on my block in front of my neighborhood.
I'm just looking.
And you're not telling me what you're doing. That's not true.
Interesting houses. It's an important house. Thank you. Have a good
It's
day.
hard to hear.
Just like every other track house on this block that was built by developers.
Right, they're beautiful. Beautiful neighborhood.
Thank you.
I mean, do you guys call this a stoop?
What do you think?
I don't know, is this a stoop? We didn't have stoops where I was growing up. Is this a stoop?
I want to know what you're doing.
Just checking it out.
You're not.
Okay, so this lady's all upset. You know, why are you on my block? I know what you're doing here. This is Letitia's home, etc. How dare you? And it's like, well, you know, I guess all's fair in love and war. A little bit of payback going on. I would say, though, that, you know, Pulte's onto something. Here he is, I guess it might have been a couple of months ago, on with my friend Maria Bartiromo, my former colleague from both CNBC and Fox Business. And he had a few things to say about Letitia's handling of her mortgage. Watch.
Recommended that the DOJ investigate New York Attorney General Letitia James over alleged mortgage fraud. The AG, Letitia James, has responded. We don't have the video, but here's the quote. "This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless. It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia resident. And prior to that, I indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be. They just took the power of attorney, and they're using that as a basis for enforcement of their investigation." Bill, do you know why she said she was a resident of Virginia on the power of attorney, if, in fact, she wasn't?
Well, I know that we are mortgage experts, and we only refer things that we think are mortgage fraud, and we stand 100% behind the letter. I'll let the letter speak for itself. I do know, and I have seen some reports from that subject, from that subject's criminal defense lawyer, saying certain things. I'll leave it to the DOJ to correct various things. But again, when we see mortgage fraud, we are going to report it. When we see mortgage fraud, we are going to prosecute it within the confines of our duties. And we are not going to be intimidated by a subject's criminal defense lawyer. We are not going to be intimidated by a politician or just because you have an Esquire behind your name. We are not going to be intimidated by people. If we see mortgage fraud, we're going to do something about it. And I think that you're going to see us be taking this on in a big way. Mortgage fraud is a big problem. These companies are safe and sound, but where we see it, we are going to do something about it. And that subject's case is no different.
Well, what are the ramifications of this now that you've referred this for criminality to the DOJ?
Well, I would refer that to the DOJ. Again, as I say, we spend our days, we are mortgage experts. We are not politicians. I view this as an economic job. Obviously, the president can fire me at any time. So I guess in that way. But look, I look at this as an independent agency. We found the mortgage fraud, whether it be that particular subject or other subjects, and we work actively with the DOJ and different law enforcement.
You know what I think is great about this is he won't even say her name, right? That particular subject that none of us really even like to speak of, right? Well, that particular subject is definitely in a whole lot of trouble. Let me show you what Ed Martin put out today. This is great. Again, reminding you that this is the DOJ investigator that has been put in charge of the whole thing. So he's kind of trolling her, right? Like he's really trolling her. And people might be like, well, why is he doing that? But you know what? Let's not forget what Letitia did. Okay, guys? Like, and this is the world, sadly, I guess, in which we live. But he put this picture out. Can you see it? Woo! Good morning, America. How are you? Now, you know what's funny? This came right before the news. So I think he had kind of a heads up. I think he knew that this was coming and that they were about to dismiss the $500 million penalty. And so then he put this one out. Thomas Brennan, thank you for your generosity. Great to have everybody here. I'm looking at all your comments live. And James Vickery, thank you so much. It is a wonderful day, right? You know, listen, I flew all the way home from Greece yesterday, okay? I was in the air for 11 hours. I got home at like 1:30 in the morning. And of course, I go through the news before I go to bed every night. What are we going to lead with? And I had a bunch of stories I wanted to talk to you guys about. And even this morning, I got up extra early, because I'm still on, some other time schedule. And guess what? This thing hit. And I called David, who works on my team, and he didn't even know about it yet. No, I mean, like this, we had it fresh, hot off the presses. Unfortunately, there's some production that goes into doing this, so I couldn't join you right away. It took me like an hour and a half or so, but here I am. And wow, so James, thank you for that. And peace of my mind, good to see you back here. And I really, Thomas, thank you as well. Thomas Bryant, he said it's amazing that New Yorkers aren't complaining about the $10 million in tax money. Of course, but you know what, Thomas? They are. They're just not being heard. I have showed you guys some polls that suggest Letitia actually isn't going to get elected again. I realize they like her in New York City. New York City is its own special kind of place. I know, I lived there way too long. I thank the Lord every day that I no longer have to live in New York City, but in New York City, she has a base of support. You go outside in New York City and no one likes her. You go up to say, the Buffalo area where my husband's from, you see a lot of Trump signs, and I'll tell you one thing, no one likes her. No one likes her, and her polls are actually showing a lot of weakness. And I don't think people are going to like the idea that she's taking taxpayer dollars to pay the likes of Abby Lowell, the fancy schmancy Hunter Biden attorney. Yeah, he's the guy that represented Hunter on the laptop. So he's charging a pretty penny, and she's got $10 million for it. Well, the GOP in New York is like, no way. And I'll tell you, the Democrats are struggling. New study out that the New York Times even reported on yesterday showing that nobody's actually registering to vote as a Democrat anymore. I mean, they got a 28% approval rating. Even CNN admits their brand is in the garbage, and nobody's registering to be a Republican. Forgive me, a Democrat. They're all registering, young people, to be Republicans. So, the Dems have a problem, and I think Letitia has a problem. I think people are going to be furious that she is using their hard-earned money to fight this thing because she's the political animal that she is, and she just wants to keep on fighting to try and raise her profile. But she's going to raise her profile right out of her job as AG. Meanwhile, not to mention, she is looking at Ed Martin's penalties there with possible mortgage fraud. I mean, that's really, really pretty bad. And what's being alleged is really, really pretty serious. But she's not the only one. I mean, look at all the people that are getting hit with the mortgage fraud thing. It's like, wowsy, guys. I mean, Adam Schiff, Mr. Schiff show, he's back in action. I mean, he's in a ton of trouble right now because it looks like he had a home in Maryland that he declared as his primary residence while he was the representative to California. So now how does that make sense? It doesn't. There's no way that one makes sense. So, the Schiff is sort of hitting the fan, as we like to say. This is something that came out as well vis-a-vis Adam Schiff. I'm looking at sort of just some FBI documents suggesting that he really did have quite a big role in the whole Russia thing, as we already knew, right? And so that's coming to light. James Marino, thank you for the generosity. News reports allege DNC and Dems have very little money in the bank. Yeah, and I mean, why? Why would you contribute to them? I mean, nobody likes the Dems right now, and they feel betrayed by them. I mean, this Russia thing is a great example, right? With Adam Schiff and his Schiff show on steroids now getting exposed for the dramatic film event that it really was. I believe he wanted to be a film producer, so he missed his calling, or an actor or something, right? So he has like Hollywood in his blood, and he's making this stuff up out of thin air, and that's coming back to haunt him. You saw what Tulsi did yesterday. She's taken away security clearances right after left for all of these people that were involved in this Russia thing that was believed to have been generated out of Barack Obama's grand vision, along with all the people around him. So this is a problem, okay? And Adam Schiff could be going down for mortgage fraud, along with this one other lady, okay? I want to get to her in a second, because there's a woman that you've probably never heard of, Ms. Cook. I think it's Laura Cook, who's kind of cooked, shall we say, on the Federal Reserve Board. You know that Donald Trump's not too happy with the Fed. He wants lower interest rates. There is an argument. It's an interesting one. We've talked about it at 76 Research. My company, by the way, go to 76 Research, use code word dollar. It's important to be investing right now. Use dollar. It's my gift to you, just $1 a month for the first 2 months. If you don't like it, you can cancel. It goes to $9.95 thereafter. But we've talked a lot about this. I mean, can you live in a world where you have these lower rates and still low inflation? And the short answer is yes. And you can read all about it again at 76research.com. I'm going to put it in the show links. But this woman is kind of cooked, right? So Donald Trump is out for her right now, because apparently, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is everybody trying to get away with you know what when it comes to their mortgages? I mean, why would you do that? So I know that, compound interest, money, it accumulates over time. And if you can save half a point or whatever she's trying to save, yeah. But I'm sorry, you're on the board of governors for the Federal Reserve. Joe Biden appointed you, Ms. Cook. And now it's coming out that she did what she allegedly did, what Adam Schiff did, and what Letitia James did. And they're finding a whole bunch of them. The whole kit and caboodle is coming forward now. They have like a whole special division just looking into people's mortgage rates. And it's like, what were you guys doing? Like, how does that happen? What world do we live in? Oh, a corrupt one, shall we say, a very, very corrupt one. And it's all coming out. So she's the latest to be targeted. She joins Letitia James and Adam Schiff in that she may have fudged some things in order to try and get a better rate on her mortgage. And you can't do it. You just can't do it. A reminder, if you haven't gone to 76 Research, we're gonna talk about Target coming up, as well as another company that you guys know. The other company would be Cracker Barrel. Did you ever eat there? I love Cracker Barrel. Well, I used to love Cracker Barrel. I don't know if I'm going to love it anymore, because they've gotten so woke. They're gonna be the next target. Mark my words. 76research.com for investing ideas, for a handle on the economy, etc. I encourage you to do that. Just take a look at some of the success we've had in our recent portfolios. Wow, tech up 84%. One of our tech picks. You've got materials up 55%. You get another tech one up 54%. I mean, a lot of good stuff to celebrate right there.